Quiero ser su manager, señor Presley. ¿Listo para despegar?
Estoy listo. Quiero despegar.
Mañana toda América hablará de Elvis Presley.
First of all, nice to meet you and congratulations.
Thank you.
This movie is a blast from start to finish. It's amazing.
So, isn't it so good? I just love this film. I think it's one of the best films I've ever seen. The first time that I saw it, I was alone in this theater. One of my best friends was there, but she sat in the seat over. I chose the best seat in the house, center, nobody else there. And I had like a panic attack, but out of excitement at the end. Like I was so relieved and so happy that I was just like, it's a great film. It's so good. I'm so excited to be able to talk about it.
Yeah, it's pure excitement, and it's really different from what people might expect for a biopic, a music biopic. So
yeah, I know. I think that's what's so cool about it too. Is it's not just your classic biopic. A, because it's a Baz Luhrmann film, so you already know there's going to be something spicy going on there. But B, I think the way that it addresses, and talks about America in the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, and how it, we're talking about a relationship between two such iconic figures in musical history and their like complicated dynamic, and then his love with Priscilla, his mum, and his love with his mom. I mean, it's just, there's a lot to go through, and that's not including the incredible music numbers. And oh my God, Austin just killed it. He blew it out of the water.
Yeah, the transformation is amazing. Of your character, I wanted to ask you. You did all research of Priscilla Presley to prepare for the role. What was the aspect that you were most excited to explore portraying her in the movie?
I think stepping into anybody who is a real person is always going to be exciting. Particularly, I think for me, obviously I'm Australian, and this is not what she sounds like or sounds like in the film. So I think the aspect of sort of being able to work on the cadence and the dialect of the time, but also her tone of voice is a lot different than my own. It's a lot softer. And I thought that was a really interesting opportunity as an actor to sort of step in and change something that otherwise would feel so fundamentally myself. I also just think the fashion aspect of it was so exciting, being able to wear these beehives, and it was like having a second head on top of my head, like that was just so much fun as a young actor. It was really good.
And did you get a chance to speak to her before shooting, or did you prefer to separate?
Yeah, it kind of worked out that way. I think with COVID and everything else, and in hindsight, I think it was the best way that it happened. But afterwards, we did get to meet, and I did get to like sit next to her during the screening at Cannes, which was really a once in a lifetime opportunity. So it was total mind blown for sure.
Total mind blowing, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Congratulations for the standing ovation of 12 minutes. By the way,
thank you. It was very cool. It just keeps going, and you think it's gonna end, and then it just keeps going, and everybody was, it was very, very exciting.
Yeah, very special too, I assume. So one thing that investigating I found really interesting is that Priscilla doesn't see the colonel like the villain. She says thank you because it took care a lot of her and Elvis. So how do you see the colonel? Yeah. How do
I personally see the colonel?
Yeah.
I mean, I see him as both things. I think that two things can be true at the same time. Somebody can be manipulative, and somebody can be greedy, but someone can also have a lot of care for somebody else, or someone can also look after, in this case, Elvis and Priscilla and the family. And I think that was true of the colonel. I don't think that anyone had shot up to that level of superstardom yet. It was the first of his kind. So they were dealing with greed and ego and wealth and celebrity in a way that nobody else had before. And I think that created a very interesting dynamic between two very strong human beings and two very strong, more importantly, men, So that's what I think.
Yeah, and especially because this movie center a lot of both of them, but Priscilla has a life that could star in a biopic perfectly. So since she has an interesting life, is there something that you would have liked to see on film about her, or maybe that you'd like to, even if there's a chance to star in a biopic only of her?
a spin-off called
through her
Priscilla.
eyes. Yeah.
I gotta call Baz. We've got a second film idea. I mean, I think that I was so excited just to be in this film in the first place. I think that she is such a beautiful touch to, and brings such a beautiful tone to this very male-dominated film and male-dominated industry, being the music industry. But absolutely, I mean, I think I loved her feisty aspect of it. I think learning about her and hearing stories about her, she had like this bite and this grit, and she talks about it in her book a lot. So I think it would have been really fun to explore more of their heated moments. I think that they had, you know, maybe more of a turbulent, or so they had some ups and downs, which would have been fun, not fun, but would have been interesting to sort of dive into as well with Austin, because we had such a great time making the film. I think as two actors too, that would have been a really cool experience. But I mean, you know, we skimmed over a lot, whether it was the wedding or the baby or, you know, even like Lisa Marie growing up. I think that would have been really fun, you know, eventually to have done.
Yeah. Well, thanks a lot for this interview. I'm out of time, so congratulations again for the movie. And have a nice day.
Bye.
Nice to meet you.
Voy a cumplir 40 años y nadie me va a recordar. Tengo que volver a ser quien soy.